Sorry, could I have the press, please? Thanks very much. Well, that's something we all do every day, is buy a paper. It only costs you 10p. But did you ever think how this paper actually gets out on the street and what's involved in producing it? I mean, it looks a fairly simple thing, but it's not. And if you follow me, you'll see exactly what I mean. Information for the newspaper comes in from all kinds of different places and through different methods. These are telex machines which constantly print out news and sports stories from all over the globe. International news agencies like Reuters, UPI and PA have reporters all over the world sending in stories, and they come out on these telex machines. Newspapers have correspondents all over the country, and their stories are phoned into the copy takers. And on an evening paper, time is the big enemy, so reporters phone in their stories from the scene. Organisations often phone in news statements like this too. It's hard work for the girls who have to contend with bad phone lines very often. Every newspaper office has its own team of reporters. Their stories are assigned to them by the news editor. Sometimes they can check them out over the phone, but often they have to dash out to the scene in cars and taxis. It's a business in which women have always had a place. In the last few years, though, more and more female reporters have been recruited. And all the stories have to go to the sub-editors before they can be printed. They check grammar and spelling, and they sometimes cut down the story to fit the space the editor has allowed for it. They also mark in instructions on pictures and stories for the linotype operators to follow.
It appears to be.
The editor, deputy editor and the news editor hold regular conferences during the day to check how things are going and to make any changes necessary. On an evening paper, the news can change dramatically within a couple of hours. The linotype operator gets the story and starts to type it onto a special keyboard. This selects letters from an alphabetical storeroom and drops them out for use. It's a very old system which has been superseded by computers. But many big newspapers have had trouble modernising because of the cost and because trade unions are worried about men losing their jobs. Down come the letters, and they're whisked away to be used as moulds for the lead type slugs. Each of these machines is actually a small little foundry. And here we go. Down comes the slug. There it is. All the slugs are assembled to make up a page of the paper. It's a complicated business, and one of the talents for this job is the ability to read upside down and backwards. You see, these slugs are like the negatives of a photograph. Everything is the wrong way around. Little lead bars are inserted to make lines dividing up the stories. And there's another story going in. Now, when the whole thing is all set up in place, a special frame is tightened to make sure none of the stories fall out. With computers, of course, none of this would be necessary, and all of these men would be without a job. The next stage is called making a matrix. Now, what this means is simply making a mould of the type on the page. Special cardboard is used, and when the page and cardboard are put in a machine, a giant press pushes the cardboard down on top of the lead slugs. The press has the strength of many tons weight, and the process is helped along by heat. This has to be done for every single page in the newspaper, and if a story is changed in different editions of the paper, it has to be redone all over again. After about a minute in the machine, the matrix is ready. The operator takes off the protective paper, and there's your matrix. Now, with heat, The matrix is curved into a semicircle and it goes off for the next stage. Here the matrix mould is used to make the lead plates that actually print the newspaper. In the machine, the lead is poured onto the mould and left for a little while to set. It doesn't take very long before the metal plate is pushed out and is ready for use. And so the papers are churned out at the rate of 30,000 an hour. They're wrapped up and dispatched to all parts of the country. The newspaper has a fleet of vans to make sure that every little newsagent's shop around the country gets its supply every morning and every evening. It's a complicated business, isn't it?